Okay, so my name is Chiraz. I'm an assistant faculty at the Department of Foreign Languages at the University of Sharjah, the United Arab Emirates, and I'm teaching the French language, French as a foreign language. And I would talk to you today about the use of gamification and digital activities in this French as a foreign language class. So I will start my presentation by saying what is the definition, what is the gamification, what do we mean by gamification, and I will talk about the use of gamification in education, in teaching, learning. We were talking this morning about digital activities, so I will talk about this today, and I will specify my talk about some platforms such as Kahoot, LearningApps, and Liveworksheets. I will specify the purpose of the study, the data that I collected, and the analysis of this data, and I will finish by presenting the discussion, by discussing the results. The gamification, what is it? Actually, it's the use of game design elements in a non-game context. The purpose basically is to improve the user's experience and the user engagement in an non-game services and applications. And this gamification have been used a lot these last years in the education. So we can find really a variety of form of games that can be used. Can be, for instance, the use of narratives to change the context around a typical activity, social competition, and many scholars will agree that the gamification will involve the integration of game patterns in this educational context. So the game mechanic that is quite often applied in teaching and learning, for instance, the use of points, of rewards, of leaderboard, of levels, of progressions, of acknowledgement of the success of the learners. Gamification has been applied in many domains, in education, I mean, in pharmacy, in social and civil skills, in math, and of course in languages that I do teach. Many studies have shown the positive effect of gamification in the learning process. Basically, it has been shown that gaming methodology benefited the students at two levels, in their learning achievement, but also in their motivation. It was really a source that motivated students. And we were talking about flipped learning methodology. The use of gamification in flipped learning methodology helps students to have better results. Gamified learning has a positive impact on students' learning, but the students has to be motivated at the beginning. They have to be willing to take part to this game. Some scholars said, be careful. We should not use the same gamification method permanently for a long time. The gamification is a viable option for short-term assignments, and the positive effect that the gamification can have is not sustainable, actually. So I told you you can have gamification using different tools. One of the tools that we can have for free on internet is Kahoot. Scholars said that Kahoot is a very friendly interface to use. It is very easy to use. It is very easily accessible. We can use it in our smartphone. As you said previously, students like using their smartphones in their sessions. They can have access to Kahoot in their smartphone, in their laptop, computer. It really has different advantages to use, but most of these, it has been shown that the use of Kahoot increases students' motivation and engagement during the sessions. However, it has some disadvantages as well. It's an extra work for the teacher, for the instructors that have to prepare and to integrate this digital content in the lessons plus, but also for the students that maybe will not like to have really an active role in the class and will have a kind of fear of making mistakes, and everyone will see that they made mistakes. We can also find online some digital activities. Very big number of digital activities are available for free on internet, and most of them will allow the learners to play different times, to start, play again, and actually if they fail, this doesn't matter because they will be able to repeat, and this actually will increase the students' engagement. Two platforms that I used in my language classes are LearningApps and Liveworksheets. I told you we can have them for free. They are very interactive and very helpful. With the first one, LearningApps, actually it allows us as instructors to create a multitude of activities, matching, millionaire games, MCQs, crossword, really a lot of activities that we can make available for our students to help them practicing in this online time. As I told you, I used these platforms in my classes, and my purpose here in the study is to assess the students' experience. I am using Kahoot, I am using digital activities in my French language as a foreign language class, but I would like to know what are the students' attitude and perceptions regarding Kahoot, and what are the students' attitude and perceptions regarding the digital activities. Are they here? Are they following? Are they motivated? That's what I wanted to know through this study. So I have 100 students that are enrolled last term in my French as a foreign language class. Some of them dropped. So by the end, I had 150 students divided in different sections. This course is a university elective course. All the students are beginners, so it's A1 level, and they are I am meeting them 3 hours a week during 15 weeks during the whole fall term for online classes. And I was using in my classes, that's why I was interested with the previous presentation, I am using flipped learning methodology. That means that my students, before attending the session, have prepared the content already. And when we meet, actually, it's just practicing what they prepared by themselves before attending the session. So once we meet, first thing we have is a session on Kahoot. So we start our session playing. They had during the term to prepare 20 preparatory activity. What I mean here by preparatory activity is the preparation, the flipped learning. So they prepare for the session before attending. So each time we meet, they have the session on Kahoot. It allows me to make sure that they are really ready. They are really did what I asked them to do. And it allows me to check the weaknesses. Is everything okay? Is there some points that I should focus on during the session where we will keep practicing during the whole time, the whole session. At the end of the session, we have a second Kahoot. To make sure that it's okay, they got it, they understood everything, and everything is clear for them. Of course, the two Kahoot are different. The first one is completely linked to the activities they did, and the second is a little bit more challenging, let's say, as they practiced. Alors, I decide to make these Kahoot not public. We have the option, can I keep the Kahoot up public so they will have the opportunity to solve it, to use it as many times as they want? I decided not to do that, so that they will be forced to take it while attending the session and to make sure that they will practice this. However, just to let you know, all our sessions that are presented on the LMS Blackboard, all the sessions are recorded. So students that did not attend the sessions can watch the recording of the Kahoot, but of course cannot play it. I am using as well some digital activities, so mainly activities that I created in Learning App, matching, ordering, MCQs, and I created also some interactive worksheets that will immediately give a feedback to the students. These, all these digital activities are available on the discussion board on the LMS that we are using, Blackboard. They are not mandatory. Students are free. They can choose if they want to use them. If they want to solve it, they can solve them as many times as they want. They are really free to do it. But here, each and every student will have a personal feedback. There will be no competition here as we have in Kahoot. Kahoot, the first 5 students will see their name in the leaderboard, and it will be shared with all the students during the session. So the questionnaire that I submitted to the students were available on Blackboard. Students were not obliged to answer, so they were free to do it or no. I didn't want to have a very long questionnaire for 24 questions, but it is long, but I wanted to make sure that I will cover different topics. And some of the questions that are used in the questionnaire are inspired from another study conducted on the use of Kahoot to compare my results with the ones that the study had. So the very first question in the questionnaire was to know the level of the participant. As I told you, it's a university elective course, so students register from different colleges. And most of the students that are registered here are from junior and senior years. So they are not freshmen, they are not starting at the university. They have kind of some experience at the university. And most of all, they starting study at the university before the before this COVID pandemic starts. Regarding the students' attitude regarding Kahoot, we can see here that most of the students are looking forward to play Kahoot. So you notice here I'm presenting 2 numbers. The one here in red are the percentages that I found in my study, and the one in blue are the ones found in the other study that I get inspired from the questions here. But most of the students are looking forward to play Kahoot. They are eager to play Kahoot, and they do focus. They say that they do focus when they have sessions on Kahoot. They are motivated to respond to the questions on Kahoot. Do they always prepare the AP in order, so the flipped learning, in order to win in Kahoot? They say yes, but the numbers are not as high as we had for the other questions. Regarding the perceptions that they have about Kahoot, most of the students, 93% of the students, strongly agree on the fact that there is definitely a value using Kahoot for the teaching, and Kahoot helps them in their learning process. Regarding the digital activities, they do also agree on the fact that the use of interactive activities help them in the learning process. Strongly agree the hugest number, yes, they do agree these activities help. And 60% of who responded to the survey said that they would rate the use of interactive activities as 5, which is the top. So they do enjoy the use of these as well. They do not use it very often. They use it quite often. Some of them said not that often, but 2% of the students never used these digital activities posted on their Blackboard. As I told you, I've linked the use of Kahoot to the flipped learning sessions. If they want to win, if they want to have a good rank in the first Kahoot we had, they have to prepare the PA, the preparatory activities, the flipped learning. So I want to know what is their opinion regarding the flipped learning activity, as flipped learning and the use of gamification are linked here. And 74 of the students said yes, they do prefer the session, they do like the sessions with PA, and they would like having flipped learning in some other sessions. So yes, they did enjoy the flipped learning activity, but it wasn't obviously enough to push them to prepare, some of them at least, the activities to win in the Kahoot. When I asked them in the questionnaire, they had also some open questions. When I asked them about advantages, according to them, according to you, what is the advantages of using Kahoot? Many of them said it motivates me to learn more. Some of them said it helps me to focus. On Kahoot, you have 30 seconds to choose the correct answer. So if you want to find the correct answer, you do need to focus. So using Kahoot helped them to focus. It gave them some energy and was challenging, which obviously they appreciated. It helped them also to clarify some topics, to memorize. The Kahoot, according here, I am quoting some of the students. Some said that Kahoot makes the information sticks and I never forget it. It helps them also to test their knowledge. They find it fun. It is fun and they enjoyed the competition. And most of them said, it helps me to learn faster. So yes, it has positive impact on them. Regarding the disadvantages, another open questions that I ask them, what are the disadvantages of using Kahoot according to you? Many said, no disadvantages for me. It is very helpful. I cannot think of any. Some students talked about the internet connection in this online process. For sure, some internet connections happen. So students were not always happy with that. The time, as I told you, it has 30 seconds to answer. It's not enough for the students. Some students said that the competition that was an advantage is also a disadvantage because as they are in a hurry to answer, sometimes they don't even think as much as they would have liked and they give the wrong answer. Some students said that the layout, the fact that we present just the 5 first students is not that good thing. And some students said, okay, sometimes if we are not prepared, we cannot be in the top. Of course, they do have to prepare their flipped learning if they want to learn. I added another open question. Please add any statement you would like to add about your experience.
Please speed up.
Sure, sorry. So they had a positive impact here. Regarding the advantages of digital activities, they said that it helped them for practicing, memorizing. It's a very good revision for exam. It's accessible. It allows us to check their answers. It's very visual. Regarding the disadvantages, one disadvantage is that was interpreting me is that they need a feedback from human. Yes, the feedback from human is something that they do miss. So to sum up, and I will be finishing within 1 minute, the use of Kahoot and the digital activities in this French as a foreign language course has a positive impact on students. They enjoy it, they like it, it helps them in many at many levels. And if you compare these results with the results that some other scholars found in another study where they used Kahoot with the students as well, are similar. The students have the same attitude and the same perceptions. However, these results have to be pondered as not all the students have responded to the questionnaire. I told you I had 150 students, only 60% of the students answered to the questionnaire. So what about the 40% others? What do they think? 9% of the respondents said that they disagree on the statement, I am eager to learn via Kahoot, and they did not explain or develop why they couldn't do it. The same way, 4% disagree and 3% strongly disagree on the statement, I prepare the API in order to win in Kahoot. So I should review the questionnaire, and the questionnaire should contain some open question that will allow the learners to specify why they don't agree, why they do disagree with some of the statements. So I'm keeping using this term, the Spring 22. I'm using the same methodology with my students, the same games, the same flipped learning activities, methodology. So I will prepare another questionnaire that will allow me actually to compare the data, and I will add these extra questions to see if ever this would bring any difference, and we clarify some of these topics. Here am I. Thank you so much.